Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. If authenticity were a muscle, then Toastmasters would be a gym. It's my gym. Every meeting is a workout. Some days can be like stretching, some days are heavy lifting, and sometimes is even leg day. Yes, for the soul. But have you ever noticed how hard it can be to actually use that muscle? Why instead of speaking freely, we so often doubt ourselves, holding back, or follow a script we think others want to hear? For me, that script began in my childhood. Because of my hearing disability, I spoke differently. I always felt that adults and kids were judging me. You're so weird. On top of that, I also had motor coordination challenges. I loved exploring, touching things, but I often dropped them, lost them, and break them. We don't know that. And my parents would come to me and say, don't touch, be careful, capricha. And my aunt even gave me a beautiful nickname, Natasha the Earthquake. So, since from the beginning, I learned that mistakes are dangerous. Playfulness is risky. Creativity is unsafe. Those lessons grew with me. So, into adulthood, in university work groups projects, I would stay silent, even when I had ideas to share. I would just nod at parties. I would just nod along, pretending to follow conversations I could barely hear. The thought was always, if I can just act normally, no one will notice that I am different. I even moved into Australia, fantasizing that if people noticed that I spoke differently, they would just say that, oh, she has accent, different accent, not a disability. But hiding never made me safe. It just made me feel disconnected with myself, with my purpose, and with people who really resonate with me. For years, I thought that perfection was the answer. To pronounce better, to be perfect, to listen better, maybe I would finally feel safe to express myself. Because perfection says, don't mess up. It's pretty much the old don't touch. And honestly, that was exhausting. When I started listening to the authentic voice that says, just show up the way you are, messy, weird, yourself, or earthquake, I started training that muscle, step by step, word by word. First, I began admitting when I couldn't hear something. Instead of pretending, I would say, could you repeat that, please? I stopped apologizing for my accent. My voice isn't broken, it's just mine. Then I began practicing public speaking at Toastmasters clubs and event opportunities for speeches. For example, in a speech at Victoria Parliament last year, with my hands and voice shaking at whole time like now, I shared the story of my challenges as a migrant woman with a disability in Australia. The older me would have been mortified. But afterwards, an attendee told me, "Your courage to speak up helped me relax about my own insecurities." That moment taught me something important. Authenticity doesn't suddenly appear in one grand heroic speech. It shows up because of the small daily choices. The rest I had been practicing, saying, "Could you repeat that?" Stopping the apology for my accent, letting the voice be mine, showing up the public speaking opportunity. Those little acts gave me the strength to stand there. When you practice authenticity like that, you don't just strengthen yourself. You give others permission to do the same. This journey also requires constant self-discovery through meditation, therapy, astrology, tarot, self-reflection, and even yoga, which for someone was nicknamed earthquake. Building better balance is a pretty big way. So, by standing here tonight, I am choosing to exercise that muscle again. Not perfectly, but authentically. Because the more I know myself on the inside, the more freely I can express the outside. So I leave you with two questions. What's one old rule or fear you've been holding on to that's keeping you from being you? Number two, what's the smallest step you can take this week to start training your own authenticity muscle? Let's keep up showing up to our favorite gym, ready to work out, even on leg day. Thank you.